All right, here we go. We are going to build my database reactivation MVP today. I have this little document to help me think through what I'm doing before I dive into n8n. Since this is an MVP, we are not using any files from CRM today. So I'm going to start right here on the second step using my Google Sheet. And as you can see here, I do have a sample sheet ready to go. And so let's jump into n8n and I can show you what I have so far. So right here we have a scheduled trigger. It's going to run every day at 9 o'clock. Google Sheets node connected to my Google Sheets account. It is reading the reactivation MVP sheet that I've set up, and it's going to be really simple. The first thing I want is for it to look for the reactivation outreach timestamp, and as long as it is blank, it means that we should reach out to them. So I have that ready to go. I've already run the data and pinned it here. Next, I have a filter node, and this is where we look for customers who haven't been contacted in over 90 days. So all I have here is that if the last service date is more than 90 days, it will be qualified to be contacted. So as you can see here, I had 3 items to start and it filtered out into 2 items because one of them is only about 30 days old. Next, I have the loop node to loop over each row that it picks up and runs through this next workflow individually on each row. So I am right now just setting up my email message. Okay. I'm using the wrong node right now. Haha. So let's look for Gmail again. And I want send message and wait for a response. We are sending a message and waiting for a response. I have used Claude to help me with the expressions here. So in the to field, it's going to pull the email address that was pulled from the previous nodes. We have a subject line that will pull in their first name. And then we have a message here that is just generic for now, and it will just so that I can move this workflow forward. And then down here, it's going to offer custom radio buttons for the person to respond to. We're going to make it required so the person can respond, yes, I'm interested, not right now, contact me again, or unsubscribe. Okay, and then we're going to hit execute, see what happens. Dang it. Oh, okay, cool. It worked. So it looks like the node worked and went through. So I'm going to see if I actually got an email into this email address. Cool. And it looks like we got the email here. Still thinking about that. I didn't put my name in properly, so that's something we have to fix. The email that came through looks correct. Did not fill out my name properly. It's been a while since we talked about your electrical project. Thanks, Oscar at Apex Electric. So let's respond. Cool. And let's say, yes, I'm interested. Let's test a happy path. Nice. This page can be closed. Let's put them back. Cool. So I got my response. That's really cool. But it didn't do my name properly. That's my problem. Okay, so let's go back. Let's actually rerun the whole thing. Fine. The empty. Okay. But we have, yeah, we do. Okay, so let's execute here. Unpin and test. All right, so now we have our first names, last name configured properly. Okay, so I I hit execute step again, and let's go back to my inbox. Cool. It looks like the first name populated properly. Still thinking about the electrical project, Michael? Added their first name. Let's respond and let's say, yes, I am interested. Put that back. And it looks like we got our response, and let's go ahead and pin that. So far, the workflow from start to finish seems to be working. There we go. Now they're connected. Oh my goodness. Okay. Append or update sheet in row. So let's open her up. All right, so we're back into our append or update row in sheet node. It's already connected to my Google Sheets account. We are going to append or update a row, and we're going to actually just go back and update our reactivation MVP sheet. And we're going to use sheet 1. And then column to match on. Match the email. So we'll match the email column and make sure that n8n is pushing the data back onto the correct row. And then we want to map the columns to update. So we'll want to update the response status. So we're going to drag the form response into response status. And then timestamp. We will, okay, and then under the reactivation outreach timestamp, we're going to use an expression to put into today's date. Emails using to match. We're going to switch to expression. And we are going to use this expression from loop over items. So we don't need to change any of these fields for now. All right, so what we're doing is we are going back to update our original Google Sheet. So we have the append or update row in sheet node ready to go. It's connected to our Google Sheets. We have our spreadsheet selected, the sheet itself, the tab on the sheet itself connected. We're going to make sure that we match on the email column so that we know the correct row is being updated. n8n is going to use the email column to make sure that it matches. It is going to update the response status with the response that it received from the email recipient, and then it will include a date for when the outreach was sent. Now we're going to hit execute, and it should go ahead and update our spreadsheet right here. Cool. So we got our response status and we got our outreach timestamp. Awesome. Let's pin that. Let's get out of here. And so we have a workflow pretty much ready to go. Okay, so we're going to see if n8n will loop through all 3 of these and send emails to this one and this one. And then let's execute the entire workflow and see what happens. And I can see that I got an email to Michael Scott here. Let's respond as Michael Scott, and he is always interested. So let's express our interest. Looks like it is now working through the next email address. That's weird. Okay, so I did get that second email. I just missed it. It just opened for some reason. But let's say Jim is not interested. So let's respond with unsubscribe. And close that out. And I did not get an email for this one. So that's good. Perfect. So that seems to be working. All right, so it's been a few hours. The lighting is completely different in here. But so far, the simple workflow seems to be working. The next thing I am going to do is, so what I want to do is add a few more entries to my database. I want to add some wait nodes to fix the rate limiting, which I've done already. And finally, I want to test some cases in which the first name is missing or the email is not valid. But that is going to come in, but we're going to save that for part 2 of this video, and I will see you next time.